Crap. I was hoping this was just gonna line up perfectly. You know? Why can't you just be perfect for me? What's up, people? I'm Xogue, and welcome to my world. We're doing things back on FTB Hermitpack. And here are my snakeheads. I've gone ahead and duplicated the first one. I've moved the first one and then duplicated it over. Now, my only issue with these is that they're not actually aimed downwards to look at you. But I can't really do much about that because it's Minecraft and diagonals don't work all that well. Granted, I'm sure it's possible and somebody's going to go there, you can do it this way or da-da-da-da-da. But I can make it work, I'm sure. But it would look even worse. Like, these don't look bad, but they're not exactly like snakeheads. They're not perfect, you know, and I know this. So this is kind of what we have to work with for now. But I did get a comment I wanted to address. If you're going up to somebody and be like, I don't want to be mean, but you're an idiot. You're being mean. I'm just saying, you don't call somebody an idiot if you're not trying to be mean. If you're not trying to be mean, then shut up. It's a pretty simple concept. Now, nobody called me an idiot per se, but what they did say is that I'm not trying to be offensive, but you're not making much progress in your episodes. And that's true. I'm not really getting all that far in my episodes. I'm not, you know, creating massive towers or anything, but I figured you guys would like to see certain things that I do, including carve out and sculpt the snake head from 4 blocks of alabaster. To me, that's a pretty cool episode. That's pretty cool, man. I want to know how to do that. I just did it, sort of. I mean, again, they're not perfect, but it is what it is. If you're not trying to be offensive, then don't say anything. Now, if you want to be offensive, by all means, tell me whatever you want to tell me. Now, if you wanted to say what you were trying to say, for example, person who commented that I'm not going to name, if you want to say that, there are better ways to do so that it doesn't come off offensive. And then there's no need to say I'm not trying to be offensive because you're not being offensive. You could say, let's see, you know, you have really great content, but maybe you could do a little more in each. Maybe you could show us more in each. That would be telling me the exact same way, but one way is a lot nicer than the other because you complimented me in the same message. Instead of just saying, you're not doing enough, you're saying, you do a really great job, but maybe you could do a little bit more or show us a little more. There are good ways and bad ways to say the exact same thing, and that's what I wish people would know. There's a courteous and common courtesy type way to say certain things. Anyway, I just read that comment, so that's why I'm a little heated about it. I'm not trying to be offensive, but then you say something offensive. You gotta just be smarter, people. Be smarter, because that's not a very smart thing to do. Anyway, now that my rant is over about stupid sentences, we're gonna move on. Now, my issue right here is that the snakes, they don't have bodies. So, long time, well, I don't know if you're a long time sub, Ian, but I know you've been there for a while at least, giving me a whole bunch of suggestions, and I do want to thank you for that. You were trying to help me out in building the body, and I'm going to try to do my best. You did show me a few pictures. Uteri, how do you say that, by the way, that website? I saw it in the messages. Uteri? I don't know, something. Anyway, what you were trying to do is to show me the good way to make a spiral for the snake body the easiest possible way. Now, I want to show you my issue with what you were trying to show me. Now, I know you said the best way to do it is to start off with this and kind of chop off certain bits here to make a 15 by 15 circle all the way around. So, right? So there's like, I don't know, whatever it is, how to measure out 15 by 15. I'm sure I can figure it out. But basically, you have this circle. Okay, and then I could have that, you know, that could be the only thing in the entire, block that I'm messing with. And then I could take a snapshot of it. I could put that into a design. But it seems like to me, you're placing these wherever and they're not aligned with blocks. It seems like they're aligned with whatever the crap you want them to be aligned with. And I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to make a pattern like that, a design, place somewhere in between blocks. Does that make sense? I hope it makes sense. If we get some kind of a design here, any of them, Let's get something snake related, just cause. U. So if we're trying to place this off center of a block, right? We don't want it to be placed in this block. But it's full there. I don't know how to move it. Like replace will just replace the block. Impose replaces the block, but the air bits are not converted over. Placement will put it on top, and I can't like move it, you know, sort of over or anything. Like control doesn't let me do it. I don't know how to move it over. And it looks like that's what you're doing. It looks like you're moving that one little disc snapshot thing, the little design, wherever the crap you wanted into the block. And I don't know how you're doing that. And that's why I'm a little confused by what you're saying. I think I understand what you're doing, but I don't know how to do it. It just seems like you're building these lines up basically to go into the center point. Like this would be the center point of that. And then you're placing the pattern or design on that center point so that the disc is then centered on it. And I don't know how you do that. Because for me, it doesn't really work. Oh. Well, look at you. Huh. Interesting. So shift. So shift does it. Oh, okay. Hold on a second. Hold that thought. I think I figured it out, Ian. All right. So for our purposes, what we've got to do is actually, well, okay. Ian, let's talk to Ian directly for a minute. What he was telling me to do is basically set up a plane here, right? And then carve out the circle that I want using the bits and everything for, and this would give me, in this case, you know, a 15 by 15 area or whatever it is, like a 15 by 15 circle, right? And this would be a cross section of a snake body. And then I could place those circles or those discs, as he called them, basically wherever I wanted and just kind of move it over one as I backed up, and it would create this spiraling tube. Hopefully that makes some kind of sense. I was having difficulty deciphering his messages until he actually showed me pictures, but hopefully you're understanding that. Now, the idea behind that is good and it works if our snake body would fit inside of one block. But our head is 2 blocks big, which means we're going to need a half and half type deal. We're going to need 2 of them. So instead of creating one circle on here, I need to create a half circle that is slightly ovalish that fits in one side of this thing. And what we're going to do is actually, I'm going to chop off a bunch of, let me go to sleep first. That's the first thing I'm going to do. Hold on a second. BRBs. I'll be sleeping. Here we go. And we're awake. Good. Now, what I was doing, what I was talking about is right here. Bam, bam, bam. So I want to chop off almost half. Actually, I think I want a little more than half. Hold on. Let's line, and I'm going to put 1 here and then here. Oh, that was not what I wanted to do. There. And then I'm going to get rid of you and you and you and you. Okay. There. So we have a little bit more than half to work with for this guy. And we're going to do the same thing with another plane in a minute. But for now, actually, I guess I could go ahead and just create the stand for that second plane right here. I don't need the line. I need the plane. So bam, good, done deal. Now for this one, we need a half. So it's going to come around and then it's going to start coming off of here like so. And then it's just going to kind of curve around. I'm going to try to like draw it a little bit. I don't know how well that's going to work. Obviously, I just dug a bit into here. There's 3 bits missing out of the grass. Do you think the grass is going to mind? Should I put them back? I think I should put them back, maybe. Let's get single bits out of here. Boop, boop. You regular grass? You are. Boop. You regular grass? You are. Good. Now, there's our sort of kind of drawn line. Obviously, it's a little bit funky and needs to be reorganized a bit. But you get the idea. I need to create a half circle here and a half circle here that's big enough to be the body of this snake here. So that's what we're going to work on now. All right, with these first couple of discs placed, well, these first halves placed, we realized that the top of them, they need to be a little thinner, which means around the outside also needs to be done. Now, the good thing about this particular situation about trying it right here is that we can actually edit it in line and then recopy everything that we need. So we need to take off the top row here, probably the bottom row as well, and probably shrink it down a little bit. Here, maybe not so much there, actually. It just needs to squeeze in, I think. So this side here needs to be blended, but before we do that, let's go ahead and recopy these. If we do this and then this, because of the fact that these guys right here are in their own block, right? We have a block here, and these two little slivers are in their own respective blocks, we can actually just recopy them. So we have the left and we have the right. And now this is the quote-unquote proper size, if you want to call it that. Now, what I realized is that in order for the manual placement, you saw me do it pixel by pixel. If these guys are in any mode except placement mode, you can't do the pixel by pixel editing. Additive doesn't work because that's all being placed inside a block. Same with impose and same with replace. But placement, we'll place it on the outside. Well, in this case, it's placing it on the other side of the block, which is a little odd, actually. But if I hold shift, I can place it wherever the crap I want to, which is really, really, really handy and really, really good. You see how it goes ghostly like that? That means there's some kind of an intersection it doesn't like, or something like that is going to happen. But right here, not really going to affect anything. So it's pretty cool that you can do that kind of a thing. So floating in the air, what we can do is hold shift and spacebar so we don't move and actually just come out a few. Oh, see how it's kind of moving a little bit? That's actually what we want. Well, sort of kind of what we want. We want to be able to do that, but not yet. Not yet. We actually just need to bring it out a little bit, and it needs to stay where it is first. So if we do that on that side, and then we come to the other side and do the same thing. Are you proper? What are you on? Placement? Are you working? Oh, yeah, you are. You're working. So there. See how it kind of moved up a little bit? It's moving up a pixel. We don't want it to move up a pixel. So I think that's good there. And that's kind of the snake neck. And it kind of works out okay, except we do need to add in some alabaster. That's wool. I need some alabaster bits. Where's my alabaster? Here you are. Chiseled alabaster. So I need to add in some bits here. That's not what I wanted. Don't do that. I want this guy. And I need you bit. A little bit of a bit. We could do drawn region as well. But I want to blend this. Right here is good. That's fine. But if we go like this and add 1 or 2 maybe around the outside of this, it'll help blend the neck in with its surroundings a little bit and kind of increase this as well. Sort of. Kind of like that. And then around over here we can do it a little more perhaps. I wonder how this would work. If we do, okay, so something like that, and then I just need to keep going down a little bit so it kind of blends a little better here. You see, it's not even, it's not perfect, which is actually good, because where in nature do you see something that's absolutely perfect in its design? Not many places. Even humans are flawed. But that is, it's a different concept. That's a bigger concept. So now you see it's kind of brought in. And if you want to call it that, it almost looks like it's got a little bit of muscle for the jaw opening and closing that we have for the front of the snake. So it's kind of cool. It's pretty, you know, every time I swing around here and I hit this tongue here, I'm worried that the tongue is just going to fall off. Because we kind of assembled it in pieces, right? We put it back together in pieces. I feel like the tongue is just going to fall off and fall to the ground, because it's not attached to anything else right now. But you see how much better that looks? This looks a lot better, in my opinion, than this. And it actually looks like it's a somewhat gradual change down to, you know, the rest of this stuff here. We can also increase this here a little bit as well. And this maybe go like this. I think, yeah. I think that's looking better. So I just need to duplicate that here and here. All right, now that we have the snake head kind of blending fairly well into the snake body, we need to start bending them. This is going to be the tricky part. Now, moving it in a spiral is one thing. That is, on its own, the way Ian did is actually very impressive. I'm glad we're using that similar concept. But it's difficult to actually switch it over and make it move into a curve, because we immediately need this to wrap around here because, well, if we don't do it now, it's not going to happen. It needs to turn really, really, really fast. And hopefully that doesn't mess up the look of the snake. We might actually have to move them all forward some. That might actually help with the curve. Now that I'm thinking about it, it very well could help a lot with the curve. Because right now, I don't know if it's going to make it. It's already going to be very, very, very close. Moving them forward, how would that look? All right, so I have moved them forward. I don't know if I'm going to like it long term, but I think after the snakes, the gigantic snakes have wrapped around our pillars here, I think it'll look okay. I hope. I don't know. But what I'm going to do here is actually, I'm going to go ahead and use a line. And we're going to place a line out. Probably, oh, crapo. Yeah, you just messed it up. Of course you did. Is this all alabaster now? Wait, is that not ever? Wait, hold on. Break you out of there. Yeah, like it's... Huh. Interesting. I need the marble that I just got. Where's marble? Here you are. So marble needs to go back and not to line. I just need the bits. You and you. I guess that's... I don't know. Whatever. Anyway, so let me go ahead out here. And what I'm trying to do... I don't know how far to go out. So I'm going to go out a bunch for now. And then I'm going to use my patterns here. Not that one. I need the other one. All right, so if we look here, sorry about the interruption, by the way. It was a little bit of an impromptu cut just because the stuff. Now, if we look here and we place one right there, we want to wrap this area over here around to this guy right here. So I guess we can try to draw a line between similar points on this thing. Are you alabaster? You are. Let's see if we can break a line. Just to, yeah, that won't break anything important. Now we can go back to bit and break the last three. 1, 2, 3. Perfect. So if we go here and we go, let's say the top, we'll say this one right here. So we want to go up between here to here. We want, wait, where, there, this one. So we want to go here and actually link them together. This one is actually the one we want to link. So we want you to go down and over and down and down and down and over and this kind of thing. So if we can link these two together without looking completely retarded and stupid, then maybe we can get the rest of it to link together without looking completely retarded and stupid. But I'm thinking this is going to look pretty bad. I have no idea what I'm doing right now. How to make it take a turn is really, really complicated. And we're going to try to make it work. But if we take a look here, it needs to be more over. So it needs to be up, up, over. Up, up, over a little bit, possibly. Maybe we'll go over. Fly. Oh, goodness gracious. This is weird, okay? This is really kind of weird. All right, now the question is, can I, for example, place it so that it matches this guy a little bit? See, if we place it against it, it's not going to work. But if we go like this... Can I place it here even though it's gray? I can't. So it has to be placeable. So that's not good. So I can place it here, but not here. Whereas kind of that's where we need it to be placed. So this is kind of a problem. Maybe I'm doing this the wrong way. Possibly. Maybe not. I don't know. This is going to be one of the trickiest parts, is getting the turns to work. Okay, turning the snake. This is going to be a very, very, very large problem because I don't know how to do it. All right, so let's give this a shot. I have a different idea. Rather than trying to connect one point, let's just go ahead and try to connect all of it. That's the wrong one. This one. So now, in order to get from here to here as fast as possible, we need to go both down and over in this direction as fast as possible to give the illusion that the snake is wrapped around it and supporting itself with this pillar right here, at least a portion of itself. Snakes are actually really, really strong, which is a really fascinating concept. But we want to go both down and over until we reach the pillar place over here. So we want to go in both of these directions over here until we reach the pillar, and then we're just going to go down and not so much over. And is that, nope, that's not it yet. Not yet. Oh, like I need to, it's very hard to do with like the white blocks, or I guess since I'm building the entire snake out of pretty much the same color, which we may redo, we may revisit the coloring down here and stuff later. I don't know yet. I don't know. But if I decide to change the color, I better do so soon, because right now my patterns are all using only alabaster, and if I build the entire snake and then decide to do a color change, it'll be really complicated to do so, and I'd pretty much have to rebuild the snake all over again in order to accomplish it. But anyway, so let's see, right here, over, yeah, actually right there. Yeah. Is that? No, one more. I think one more and we will be where we need to be. There that is. And now we see that I actually need to go down some faster. I need to go down and maybe even over faster. So now is the problem, because now I have to erase some of it and decide to go down faster. This is the trial and error period. So it's not going to be perfect exactly. Crap. I was hoping this was just going to line up perfectly. You know, why can't you just be perfect for me? You know, I learned something very, very valuable and very important in this. And that is random is good. What I mean by that is this is completely random. This was all handcrafted. I didn't really copy and paste. I mean, yes, I have certain slivers. This is the general shape that I want the body to be. But around the curves, you have to get creative. You have to get random. Random is very, very, very important. Now, let me show you a little bit what I'm talking about. How it looked before, it looked like the neck was it was curving, like right up here near the top. I'm going to have to do a little bit more work here. How it's turning so fast. It looks like the neck was literally chopped with a knife and split apart, which is basically what's happening because we built it in slivers. So it's kind of a problem, and it looks even more so. Now, this is a part I haven't gotten to. This is not the finished part. Right down here. You see how it's kind of like, it looks like you just chopped the neck in little tiny slivers and split them way too fast. So obviously I need to do some blending from right around here and blend it down this way, which isn't too difficult to do if you acknowledge the fact that random is something that that needs to be done. So if we need to blend, oh, that was the wrong one. Actually, I need to right click. If we need to blend all of this down here, then we need a big chunk to work with. And then what I do is I kind of use the draw region area, and I shave off bits. Like down here is going to be a lot of it. So if I want to cut off this whole block right here, I go all the way from the end, go all the way up, and then I go all the way down. If you get all three dimensions, you can chop it off. Now I think that might have been too much. So what I can do is I can actually bring a little bit of it back, like the corner. And then I can kind of keep chopping this in tiny little bits like this until I get something that looks a lot better as a neck. Like right there, that's still too thin, so I'm going to have to bring some of that back. And you kind of get the idea. You just play with it for a while. Now, it does take a lot of time, and I'm sure Basilisk can attest to this. This mod, the Chisels and Bits mod, will absorb your life. This is taking me so unbelievably long to get through, and people wonder why, you know, hey, you don't get too much progress done in your video. This is why. This mod takes so much effort. It is absolutely ridiculous how much work has to go into the Chisels and Bits stuff. It really is crazy. It's unbelievable. So you kind of have to deal with that. Now, obviously, like I said, I'm going to bulk this up. So we have to do the bottom as if the top is already bulked up. And that's right around the area right here. So I think this is probably, granted, that's a big chunk taken out. I don't want that much taken out of it. But just a little bit of it is fine. So we kind of do this. And we blend a little bit. I just want to see, I want you to see exactly how I do this and how I get the randomness of this. Now, words. Right from here, it looks a little bit odd. You know, it doesn't look all that great. But if you go up, it does actually kind of look like the body of a snake now. It's not chopped up slivers of the body of a snake. It's, you know, it looks decent. You see random everywhere in nature, everywhere. It is all over the place. So if you think random isn't good in design, then you're crazy. You're just nuts, because random is important. It really is. That's not what I wanted to do. This is why undo is very handy. Undo. Wait, no. Whoa, 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 whoa. Oh, I'm popping the things up. That's not what I wanted to do. Push the wrong button. Undo. There we go. Okay, good. Why did that happen? That was weird. That's not what was supposed to happen. There we go. That's a little better. Anyway, so you get the idea of what I'm trying to accomplish here. I need to make sure that this is going to be blended well enough. Like right here, that's too much there. And that is a little too ordinary around the sides. So let's chop a little bit of the sides off as well. And then maybe a little here and here. This is kind of what I do on a regular, for the rest of everything else. I basically just pick random spots that I think look too ordinary, too plain, too organized, and I chop little pieces out of it until it doesn't look so much organized and so planned out. So that way you get that random look that's pretty much right here. Just keep doing so. You keep tweaking it just little by little, and eventually you're going to get what you want as far as look is concerned. Like, that doesn't look too terrible now. Keep in mind that this part right here is going to be thickened up. So even though the neck right here looks a little bit thin, it'll thicken up right about there. So the neck will actually be pretty much fully featured. Now right here, this part actually looks a little wide. So if we can get rid of some of these rows here and actually clean this up a little bit as well, then I think it'll look a little better. Maybe this guy way down here, I don't know why he's so far down. We can clear a little bit of this out of there as well. And kind of chop it off, round off the body a little bit. You kind of get the idea of what I'm doing. I'm just trying to get it to work, and I'm trying to bring you along in the process of it. But obviously, I can't show you everything that I do. I can't show you every little snippet of this because there's just so much that happens behind the scenes. You guys have no idea how difficult this is unless you've done it for yourself. And some of you that have know exactly what I'm talking about. Now in here, actually, this needs to be brought out some, I think. Not to there. I need to go all the way back into that corner. I missed it, I think. Go. There we go. That'll work. But yeah, some of you guys that have messed with chisels and bits before, either in the past or while I'm doing it here, will see what I'm talking about a little bit. These guys are a little too high. So that way, you know that I'm not kidding. This is a mod that takes a lot of effort. It really does. But I'm trying to do what I can do to actually make this idea come to life. And I hope I'm doing a decent job. You guys got to let me know what you think of my job here. I need to connect these pieces, I think. So you got to connect there, and this whole thing needs to connect here over to here. I think maybe that's a little too much. That's too much. Okay, holy crapo. This is going to be a very, very, very big project. And it's going to take me a long time to get done if we ever finish it. Now, I don't want to say that. I really don't, just because this is an idea that I really want to see through to completion. But it's going to take so much time that I have no idea where we're going to be at by the time it's actually finished. Because I'm not going to be able... I will lose my mind if I do any of this every day. If I do some of this every day, I will lose my mind. So I'm going to have to take days of break between doing some of this. And it's going to look half complete every time we come here. And it's just going to be such a huge project. I at least want to get one of the snakes done. The whole one snake. If I can do that, then I can go through and pretty much keep resetting one pattern for each individual piece and literally copy and paste one side of the snake to the other side. And it should, in theory, work. If I angle myself properly and all that good stuff. So we're going to focus on one of the snakes for the next, I don't know, 3 months or however long it's going to take. And eventually, hopefully, we will be done, and then I can copy and paste the snake to the other side. I really, really hope this is a thing that we can finish, but I don't really know. And then today, we haven't really gotten a whole lot done. I realize this. Now, there are a couple reasons for this. One is because of that comment I got. Just because you don't get a whole lot of progress doesn't mean you're not learning something. Doesn't mean it's not a cool thing. This took so much time. This took all day to do. This little sliver. This is how much I care about doing YouTube videos and letting you guys join me in this process. This is crazy. This is nuts. I spent so much time on one corner, pretty much. That's all I did today. And I do apologize. I want to have progress. Progress is good, definitely. I'm not refuting that. I'm not trying to say progress isn't good, but I'm not feeling the greatest today. It's already been a pretty much crap day. I don't usually let that show in videos, but there you have it. I've been having a fairly bad day. I'm not feeling the greatest. And that comment just kind of threw me over the top. And it's not good to be in this kind of a mood and record videos at the same time. It's really not. So again, I do apologize for letting you see this part of me and not the usual energetic fun Xogue that I do want everybody to see all the time. But there you have it. This episode is shorter. I hope you enjoyed it anyway. If you did, don't let that like button get lonely and subscribe to see more. Check out the Patreon and donation links down below if you do want to think about supporting me. Thank you for watching. Do what you do, and I will see you next time. Peace out, peeps. Oh, it's recharging. There we go. I can shoot that far away? That's ridiculous. That's huge. Get it. Oh, why didn't it clear this? Okay, get off then. Leave. Okay, let's go. We got some highlight to kill.